God our Father blesses us, preserves us, protects us, provides for us, guides us for one reason only, so that we can bring glory to his name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So just moving right along here. When we keep going. Uh, so starting with verse number 12 says that my command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start at verse 11. Okay. I've told you this so that your joy may be, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: that you love each other as I have loved you. Verse 13. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down his life for one's friend.
Man, you go ahead, man.
Yeah. So, man, it's all laid out here. It's showing. It's just like you said. What was the command? You said that you love God and you love people. You love God and you love people. And there's no room in the kingdom for selfish behavior. There's no room in the kingdom for a me, I mentality. I mean, we both uh, played sports, played football, and then one of the things they tell you is that there's no I in team. It's about community. It's about we all play our parts so that we all will succeed together. And this is the same concept that we find here in these scriptures, that we have to be there for one another. Man, this week has been just a heart wrenching week for us. I know in my house and in my family, with the whole mass shooting in Uvalde, and the just the thought of the pain and the suffering that these kids and these families are enduring, because they lost their child, their children.
Yeah.
And so many times, we as a body of believers, that we want to push the easy button. We want to say, hey, I'll pray for you. My prayers, my thoughts are with you.
Yeah.
But and because what do you say? What do you do in a situation when someone loses a child?
The thing that keeps resonating with me, at me personally, um, is I went to prison for 7 years, and when I went to prison, my baby boy was 10,
Yeah,
and so I understand the capacity, um, the personality that a 10-year-old child has. And I was just like, this was to see 19 10-year-olds wiped off the face of this planet
yes,
for no other reason than evil. Um, that hit me. It hit me
yeah,
really hard. It moved me to tears, because I'm like, I remember, I know what my son was at 10.
yeah,
He was a person. He was
yeah.
he had a personality.
Personality, yeah.
He was
Joyful,
able to
yeah,
communicate fully. He was able to interact with me in a personal way uh, at 10. So now you're talking about 19 families that lost their 10-year-olds, uh, along with the two adults, teachers who
yeah,
died. Um, you know, what the whole, like I said, the only thing that continues to resonate with me was this was not uh, an infant. These were not people who did not already establish who they were in the world. These people already had personalities. These people already were on their way to being whatever they were going to be. They had um, they functioned correctly. They communicated correctly. They they were people.
Exactly.
They were people.
Yeah. Yeah. And just deserving of all the love that their families give them. And so I guess the point I was trying to reach out is that I was trying to get to was, man, sometimes we just being there, being present for the family, is and letting them know that they're not alone, that there's someone there, a shoulder to cry on. That's how you demonstrate the love of Christ. Because it took me back to even times in my life where I was in situations of immense pain and anguish, and it was those people who could just sit there with me and be there. Thoughts and prayers are nice, but the presence of another person who just is there as a shoulder to cry on, it is like, wow, that's really the demonstration of the love of God.
When to go to a biblical example, um, when Job went through what he went through, when God allowed Satan to strike him, to infirm him in the way that he did, Job chapter 2, verse 11 says, "Now, when Job's three friends heard all this adversity that had come upon him, each one came from his own place: Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamanite, for they had made an appointment together to come and mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they raised their eyes from afar and did not recognize him," Job was so messed up, they didn't even recognize him.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
They lifted their voices and wept, and each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head toward heaven. So they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that his grief was great. The best thing you can ever do to comfort someone, just be there. You ain't got to say anything. You don't have to say a word. Just say, "Hey, I'm here because I know you're hurting and I want to be here for you. So here I am." But you don't have to say a word, because when you get into Job chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, and they start talking to Job, trying to comfort him, Job's like, I really wish you hadn't said anything at all. You're not making this any better. You're making it worse. But their presence, just them showing up and saying, "Hey, bro, I know you're going through something. I'm here for you." Their presence had more impact in comforting him than their words ever could. And this is what we have to understand. You know, um, we talk about we're on Uvalde. Um, People were saying this kid that did all this never had a friend. a loner, right? What would have happened if somebody
yeah,
would have reached out to him and said, hey, bro, I'm here for you?
yeah.
What would that have changed? And the point I'm making is we are taught, we are commanded, we're not taught, we're commanded to extend love to other people.
Amen. Amen.
When you see somebody hurting, your job is to go to that person and say, hey, I'm here for you.
That's right.
I'm here for you. That's your job. That's your commandment. This is not questionable. This is not optional. This is what we're supposed to do. If people would show love the way we're commanded to do, will we be worrying about the 27th school shooting? Will we be worried about the 212th day of a mass shooting when there's only been 144 days passed in the calendar year? Will we find ourselves in a situation if we show love? This is why we're commanded to show love, because people hurt, bro, and hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people. That's right.